like that song. But right now I'm wondering, is that worth going to jail for? Huh? Is it? Hey, I don't know if you know this. That COVID relief bill that the House passed, the Senate passed, waiting on Trump to sign. Trump is saying he wants a bigger check to go to all of us before he signs that thing. Well, I don't think you know this. In that bill, there's all sorts of other bullshit. And one layer of that bullshit is that now it's going to be a felony with a 10-year prison sentence if you play copyrighted content for profit. So I guess technically, if I get any super chats here during the stream, would I not be playing copyrighted content for profit? Would I not? This is real stuff, man. It doesn't make any sense. In fact, tonight's show, we're going to get into some stuff, man. Rant and chill, rant and chill. I like this stuff. God dang it. The butane fell. I got plenty to rant about. I'm sure you guys do too. We'll chill out and get into some stuff. Forbidden topics. Topics we're not allowed to talk about. Why is my Chrome not working? Like I see the browser, but it's not working. That's goofy. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. That's extremely goofy. Anyway, there's the chat. 10 years in the gulag. That's right. 10 years in the gulag. Just veto that shit. That's right. That's right. Justin Fountain. Kaiser. Man, that's a lot of snow cones. Yeah, it is a lot of snow cones. You're right. XX Games, welcome to the New World Order. That's right. That's right. I gotta tell you, man, forbidden topics, one of them we got to get into because it's a whole list of stuff, right? Things that you're not allowed to talk about. Things you can't talk about without getting hit with some sort of label, being shamed in some sort of way. Hell, we can start simple. You can't talk about women as a man without being called a misogynist. When really what they mean is a chauvinist, but they always jump the gun, right? You know, women being all emotional and all, they always jump the gun, right? Always escalating too quickly. Grangestone tonight. Grangestone 12-year. So yeah, as a man, you talk about women, you are apparently you hate them. Even though you don't even want them in the kitchen because you can make your own goddamn sandwich and it tastes a hell of a lot better. That's sad when women don't even know how to make sandwiches anymore. Now, of course, I'm not talking about my wife. My wife is an angel. Oh, well, she is actually. When she cooks well. Same for my mother-in-law too. Nice. Anyway. But we're gonna go deep here, okay? We're not just gonna talk about the topical stuff, the surface layer, like gender stuff. Oh, speaking of gender, let's go a little bit deeper. Forbidden topic. You can't even talk about gender, right? You can't say, oh, there's two genders. You can't say, oh, there's only two genders. Because where's the science for the third? And they'll produce some sort of social science bullshit, which is just a bunch of junk. No, I'm asking for science, not a research paper built on feels and how someone thinks they identify. I'm talking about actual science. How you feel and basing your identity based on how you feel, that's not a fucking science. It's fucking make-believe. It's what I used to do when I was a kid. I feel like I'm a dragon. I'm gonna go pretend to be a dragon. Pick up sticks and hit my siblings and hit my friends. I'm pretty mean when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's make believe. Can't talk about that. Can't talk about it on Twitter. You get banned. Can't talk about it on Facebook. You get banned. Talk about it here. Get demonetized. Well, you know, still monetize. Get a few bucks is nice every now and then. Then again, it doesn't really matter. It's funny how that works. Not allowed to talk about this stuff. It's forbidden. You just have to accept it. You just have to accept their narrative, their reality, their facts, and you can't question it. Let's get even deeper on this. Well, I guess I'll get on the subject of gender. Let's go deeper on that, right? Let's go into trans, right? You can't say men and women are different because obviously they are. If there weren't any difference, then what? First of all, if gender was just a construct and if there's no difference between men and women, then why would people have to transition to be the other, right? Dude, I'm preaching to the choir. We all know there's differences. You can see it. You can see it. And not just with breast and vagina, just even like body design. Men tend to be bigger, you know, broad shoulders, taller. Now, other women, they're like that. Sure, yeah. There's plenty of dykes walking around. But, you know, they're like the exception to the rule. But good for them, I guess, if they want to be like a manly woman. Sure, I don't care about that. That's fine. Guys that's right, political sciences. Political science, that's not science. That's bullshit. Let's see, XXX Games, make-believe witchcraft like Bill Nye or Neil deGrasse. That's right, Neil deGrasse Tyson, whatever his name is. That's right, Bill Nye. When I was a kid, Bill Nye was just saying, hey, there's two genders. Now he's saying there's as many as as you could think. There's only two. I'll change my mind if you could show me the third. As has yet to have happened. The only possibility is like a hermaphrodite. And that's kind of an exception to the rule. I mean, there's such a abnormality that it's like, okay. Nature makes mistakes sometimes. All right. But let's get thicker. As you can tell, forbidden topics, yeah, we're getting into, but what about the Jews? You can't talk about the Jews. You can't question the Jews without being hit with anti-Semitism, anti-Semitic. That's weird. That's weird. You can't ask any questions relating to them. You can't ask questions about Israel. You can't ask questions about the legitimacy of Israel. You can't ask questions about, hey, what is Israel doing with Palestine? Hey, what about the human rights violations that they are committing? How come they get a pass, huh? How come they get a pass on that? Oh, because of the Holocaust? Does the Holocaust give them a pass to kill women and children? Huh? Even pregnant women? Huh? I guess so. I guess if a few of your own kind and a few of your ancestors have been in the gas chamber, it gives you a free pass to just be pretty much Nazis in your own little territory. I guess so. But you can't even question the Holocaust. You can't even question the numbers. 6 million. 6 million. You heard it. I've heard it. Everyone's heard it. 6 million. 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. That's weird. That's a weird number, bro. And if you question that, they say, oh, you're anti-Semitic. How? I mean, there's a reason to question that because it's like, well, that's quite a bit more than I would imagine. Like, 6 million. Hold on here. Let's get. Can we verify that number? What's weird is they can't verify that number. They don't verify that number, which is why even if you go to Wikipedia and look for the stats related to the Holocaust and all that, different story. 6 million? No. It gets rounded down all the way down to about 1 million, 1.1 million. At least. It is based on registered prisoners at the concentration camps, which the Nazis are really good at keeping a record of everything. Well, I don't trust China's records of anything. I do trust the Germans. I do trust the Nazis to be able to be excellent bookkeepers. Like, to the point to where it's like, why? You know? So if they have about like 1.1 million, okay. All right. Where the fuck does the 6 million come from? Right? What cigars do you smoke? Right now I'm smoking Insidious by Asylum. This one I like. I really like this one a lot. Let's see. Anyway, let me read the chat here. It's a bigger agenda, man. They want us. Oh, let me do better to say the names too. XXX Games. It's a bigger agenda, man. They want us as one than AI combined. Interesting. Kaiser. ADL probably gonna sniff this one out. Maybe I did put Jew in the tag. I mean, they can come at me. That's fine. I'm not anti-Semitic. I have nothing. I mean, you know, I'm just asking questions, bro. Well, look, obviously concentration camps happen. Obviously, Jews were executed for just being Jews and all that. But there were also labor camps. They weren't killing like every... I swear to God, I remember when I was a kid reading... never read the book Night? Night. It's more of a novella than an actual novel. It's supposed to be written by what is it? A survivor? But I think it's just fiction. I think it's just a work of fiction. Because that book, the way it describes the camp that the dude was in was like a level, like a massive line of people just being thrown into ovens. I thought it was a labor camp. Don't they need him to do labor and make supplies, which they were doing later on? That they were making stuff. They were making shells and ammunition. You know, they were doing work. And even if there were these massive fire pits, supposedly in this, like I said, that book Night, it takes a lot. Like a massive line of people just to be thrown into a fire like that. These massive pits. Like, okay, all right. But they described it as these people being on train cars, or not train cars, yeah. Like the sort of cars that they would use for, mining coal. I guess they call that a train car. Or, yeah. A mine cart. Okay, they used them. Put the people in there. Put the Jews in them. And send it off like a roller coaster to an open pit of fire. I was like, what are you talking about? That sounds like a roller coaster of death. That sounds weird, man. I mean, look, what I'm saying is, I get the Nazis were evil. Sure, yeah. Fine. But it comes to a point where you're just making fiction, making shit up. Oh, man. Come on. Let's teach history, not fucking fiction. But yeah, you can't question anything. See, everything I just said right there? Pfft, anti-Semitic. Because you can't question anything at all. Especially when it pertains to the Jews and that number. But it's kind of funny when you look into where that 6 million came from. You know that the number 6 million was something that popped up way before the end of World War II. In World War I, they were saying 6 million. Did you know that? Did you know that? Yeah, before World War II, during World War I, they're saying 6 million, about 6 million Jews and unbelievable poverty, starvation, and disease. About 6 million souls and half the Jewish population of the earth. That was in 1919. The number 6 million pops up again in 1920 with typhus. Pops up again. Russia's 6 million Jews are facing extermination by massacre. 1921. So, I mean, it's like 6 million is said over and over again. Here's that, man. But I get that massacres, atrocities have happened, but we don't need to exaggerate it, right? We don't need to be like creating tells, right? Just stick to the truth, man. Stick to the fucking truth. But what I'm saying is that 6 million has been popping up over and over again, even before the war. World War II, even before those camps. So, in order for that to be true, there would have to have been an insane population of Jews for there to be losing 6 million people in 1919, then 1920, and then 1921, and then 1924. I mean, dude, it's like. Come on, man. Yeah, so the number 6 million, bullshit, not true, no way. I know it's wrong. It's wrong for me to say that. And when I say that, I'm not saying the Holocaust didn't happen. I'm just saying that's an accurate number. There's no way that it is. Okay, but you can't talk about that. And that's the point of this show here, this Rant and Chill. Let's see. Look at the chat here. That's the chill element of this. Okay, we're gonna chill with you guys. For yes. Also, what do you think of Trump trying to get 2,000 instead of 600? I say, sure, go ahead. I'd rather Trump say, you know what, lift all lockdowns now. Let people go back to work. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. But the 2,000 is a lot better than the 600. Okay. Because a lot of these lockdowns has caused massive damage to where people are broke or losing money, you know. They have no health care because they don't have a job now. If they have a small business, they can't run their business because it's illegal for them to operate because their governor says so. And sometimes every now and then they might get law enforcement that they'll be oath breakers and do the governor's bidding. In that situation, who should be bailing them out will be the local government, but they're fucking broke. They're fucking broke. And that's why this COVID relief package is a bunch of shit. Because a lot of that money is going to those shattered fucking husks. Those states. They're getting a lot of money too to repair the damage they have done to themselves. All right, let's see. XXX Game 6 million because 6 is an occult number, just like the pass out vaccine video. She says 6 and 6 again. You know what? I think you're right. I don't have that video on hand. We're gonna play that here tonight because another thing you can't talk about, another forbidden topic, is the COVID vaccine. You're not allowed to talk about it. Dude, everything COVID related is just about forbidden, right? You can't talk. You can't say that, like, you know, most people get COVID survive, which is true. You can't say lockdowns are bullshit. not supposed to. Of course, what you'll see is a lot more people who are coming out and saying this stuff because while they're forbidden topics, while they don't want us to talk about it, we're getting fed up. We're getting fed up. Let's see, XX Games. We use certain numbers. That's right. The codes. And what? Dick Trickle, your message, like I said, was hidden, but it won't let me show it for some reason. I think YouTube is not letting me show messages, even though I say show. That is bullshit. Look at that. All right. Yeah, see, the chat is acting weird. Okay. COVID 1984. He's just like every other president, just another puppet. With Trump, yeah, I believe so. I do believe so. I think he wanted to do things right, but the swamp is too much, man. You didn't type anything bad? Let me read what you typed. You said, nigger faggot. Why would you say that, Dick Trickle? Why would you say that? That's horrible. I'm just joking. I'm joking. You said, Dick Trickle said, about 4 times as many Russians died in World War II, but they don't have a victim card like the Jews do. 100%. You're right. They did. That is true. They don't care about Soviet lives. They don't. That's the other thing. Another forbidden topic. You can't talk about the N-word. You can't talk about the use of the word nigger. You can't talk about the fact that, you know, it's... You can't talk about how it seems the smart thing to do would be to overuse the word, oversaturate it. That way it loses the meaning. That way, yeah, sure, it has a historical, I guess, context, I suppose, in certain ways. But if you oversaturate it, overuse it, it starts losing its meaning. And then what gives it meaning is tone. Or is what gives it power is tone. Because the meaning's lost, but the tone, well, tone you can get just about anything. It's kind of like how someone can turn something as simple as hey or hello into something hostile. Like you say hey or hello versus hey. Hey. You know? Different. Totally different tone. Totally different delivery. You know? You can't talk about that. You can't talk about how it's funny that in the black community that they embrace that word. You know, and fine to kill the power of that word. Sure. I can see that. But it's like the word you cannot say. You say the N-word instead of saying nigger. Which, when you say the N-word, everyone knows what that word means, right? Everyone knows what you're saying when you say it. So why don't you just say it? It's a fucking word. Say it. You should be able to say it. Bullshit. All right. I thought the Jewish stuff would. Oh, actually, I have a video to play. I was about to say I thought the Jewish stuff would take me a little bit longer. I have a video to play. It's show and tell. You ready for some show and tell on the Jewish immigration hypocrisy? Y'all might remember this. Some of y'all might remember this stuff. Let's play this video. This should be good. Here we go.
It's because I mean, I get this question or comment a lot, of course, when I talk about this stuff. A lot of the Jews that I've talked to seem to be very pro-immigration, but not to Israel. Like, do you think that Israel should be taking a lot of Syrian refugees?
Because Israel is the exception, right? Right? They want everybody else to take in refugees, but not them. They're allowed to have a ethno state, aren't they?
It's probably not in their self-interest.
Not what I asked.
Man, that's hard.
Not really.
Probably. I mean,
Yes or no?
probably not.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Well,
Don't you all value diversity? Where's your multiculturalism preferences? I mean, why is it bad?
well, because
They value diversity so much. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Reason why they are shooting little Palestinian kids. You know, they like to say America likes to go to war in the Middle East just to blow up brown people. Fuck. A lot of times lately, actually, we're doing that because I don't know, this weird deal between us and Israel. And what does Israel do? They do the same shit. Oh, but they have a pass. They were persecuted before. Pick a fucking ethnicity. Pick a fucking religion. We've all been persecuted at one time or the other. I'm not a historian or a historic scholar, a scholar of history. So you guys probably know more about this than I do. But I'm willing to bet the way, just based on how humans treat each other, how tribes treat other tribes. Pick a fucking religion. I bet you they've been persecuted before, like Christians. Sure, maybe they've done some persecuted on. Sure. But what I'm saying is they were persecuted too. All right. It doesn't give you a pass to be an asshole.
because they sort of want to kill the people that they would immigrate to.
Okay, so but wait a minute. Hang on, man.
Yeah.
Didn't you just give me a whole speech about not judging people collectively? And innocent until proven guilty, my friend? Oh, wait, is that only for Christians? Is that only for white people?
Right. And Stephen Molyneux, yeah, he's touched on topics that you're not supposed to talk about because it gets you in trouble, even though you're right. You know.
When it comes to your country, things get a little different, right?
Funny how
I
that
mean,
works.
well, I'm not saying that they have a right to not let him in. I'm just saying it's probably not in their interest to do it.
Hey, see, that doesn't make any sense. Why is it not in Israel's best interest to let immigrants in? Just let people in. Let people in. So it's in America's best interest to let people in. Let Mexicans come in. Let anyone come in. I'll tell you why that happens. You know why too. Cheap fucking labor. Cheap fucking labor. You know? You really think Republicans are against illegal immigration? What was Bush's stance? Remind me. What was Bush's stance on illegal immigration? George W. I remember. Maybe I'm wrong. I remember him being really laxed on it. I know for damn sure, it doesn't matter how you vote, but if you are a business that needs some cheap fucking labor, well, you have cheap labor coming in droves.
Come on. You know you're squirming, right? I don't mean to be mean, but you understand this is a bit tough to hear from the outside, right? You people should accept all these Muslims. When it comes to Israel, oh man, they want to kill us. It is terrible.
Yeah, they want to kill us. Well, why don't you be more peaceful over there? Huh? Why do they want to kill y'all? Is it because y'all are killing them too? You know? Extend that olive branch a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yep. You still have. Yeah, so, I mean, and this is what drives, frankly, non-Jews a little crazy. And I'm sure it drives some Jews crazy as well, too, right? But you understand, this is like, why is there this incessant demand that non-Jewish countries take in all these incompatible cultures when Jews are paying Jews from North Africa to leave Israel, right? Like, I mean, this doesn't make any sense. There's no consistency here, right? I'm not putting this on you, the whole thing, but you understand that there's been a bit of a reversal now that we're talking.
The Jewish immigration hypocrisy. You're not even allowed to talk about that. Mm-hmm. Right? We give them their own country, pissing off everyone over there. Of course they're going to be pissed off. They want them gone. They see that territory as theirs because some big dog, America, said, you know what? That's Jewish land now. Imagine if someone said, you know, that neighborhood you live in, I don't know. It's like people are living there already. It's like the house you're in. Guess what? Get out of that fucking house. It's someone else's house now. Dude, you'd be fucking pissed. Should have never made that deal. Should have never been involved in that.
Talking about Israel rather than, say, America.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And why do you think that? I mean, were you surprised when I asked you that question?
No, I mean, it's a fair point, a bit, but it's certainly a fair question to ask. Yeah.
So why is it this insistence on immigration to non-Jewish countries from incompatible cultures, but when it comes to Israel, like, why do you think there is this double standard?
That Jews have? Well,
I
because
don't want to judge collectively. I'm just saying that
well, I think
a lot of people in the media seem to be very. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jews have been killed a lot, and probably to a greater degree than other groups, so they're more protected. I mean, I think that's probably the answer, right? I mean,
do you not think that a lot of Christians were killed when the Muslims were taking Christians, the European Christians, as slaves by them?
Right. Oh, another thing you're not allowed to talk about, speaking of slaves, you're also not allowed to talk about, it's forbidden to get into. So, who owned the slave boats that brought the slaves over to America? Now, I did some digging into this too, and well, yeah, quite a bit were owned by Jews. You know, there's a lot of boats that, not really, but yeah, there's definitely there's an element there. It's like, what's going on with that? No, don't take this out of context. I'm not trying to be anti-Semitic here. What I'm saying is, maybe we shouldn't be putting them on a pedestal as if like they are like God's chosen. Because that's how we're acting. That's how we're acting. Okay. Let's see. I want to go into Dr. Fauci. Let's talk about him real fast. This video. Okay. What I'll be doing here tonight, pretty much anything you share in the Discord, any video you share, I'll be playing, okay? We'll get into that. So let me drop the Discord link here, okay? And if you want me to play a video or get into a certain topic, you know, you could drop videos you want me to play in the Discord. Of course, you could always ask questions and stuff in the chat. You know, I don't require any sort of super chat or anything for me to interact with you guys. I've never had that policy. Would never have that policy. Even if the chat in the future, if it ever gets like, you know, 100, 200 viewers, I don't know. Even if the chat went fast, I'd put it on slow-mo just so that we'll be able to see everybody or something. You know, it would have to adjust. There you go. Use that link. Drop in videos if you can. And let's go through this. Let's go down. Let's go down the list. All right, let's listen to this guy. Now, this Mullis on Fauci. Now, I will tell you, he's not talking about COVID. Okay, here we go. But it's important.
What is it? What is it about?
Let me turn down the music.
That wants to go to all the details and stuff and listen. You know,
guys like Fauci get up there and start talking, he doesn't know anything really about anything. And I'd say that to his face. Nothing. The man thinks you can take a blood sample and stick it in an electron microscope, and if it's got a virus in there, you'll know it. He doesn't understand electron microscopy, and he doesn't understand medicine, and he should not be in a position like he's in. Most of those guys up there on the top are just total administrative people, and they don't know anything about what's going on at the bottom.
Interesting.
Those guys have got an agenda, which is not what we would like them to have, being that we pay for them to take care of our health in some way. They've got a personal kind of agenda. They make up their own rules as they go. They change them when they want to, and they smugly, like Tony Fauci, does not mind going on television in front of the people that pay his salary and lie directly into the camera. You can't expect the sheep to really respect the best and the brightest. They don't know the difference.
Man, the parallel here. He's not talking about COVID. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is he talking about AIDS? I'm not exactly sure what virus he's talking about here. He hasn't said it yet. But the parallel is very similar, isn't it? You could tell this is filmed in the 80s, right? Has a look to it. But the way it's being discussed is as if it's happening now, right?
Difference, really. I mean, I like humans. Don't get me wrong, but basically, the vast majority of them do not possess the ability to judge who is and who isn't a really good scientist. I mean, that's a problem. That's a main problem, actually, with science, I'd say, in this century, because science is being judged by people. Funding is being done by people who don't understand it. Okay, who do we trust? Fauci? Fauci doesn't know enough to, if Fauci wants to get on television with somebody who knows a little bit about this stuff and debate him, he could easily do it, because he's been asked. I mean, I've had a lot of people, president of the University of South Carolina, ask Fauci if he'd come down there and debate me on the stage in front of the student body, because I want.
Interesting. I wonder if Dr. Fauci has been asked to debate about COVID. I'm sure he has. And he has not, right? It's funny how the people who are like know-it-all or whatever, are supposed to be advisors, so informative, they don't debate.
Wanted somebody who was from the other side to come down there and balance my, because I felt like, well, these guys can listen to me, but I need to have somebody else down here that's going to tell me the other side. But Fauci didn't want to do it. That's not an epidemic. The number of cases reported went up.
Okay, I don't know what happened to the video right there.
Epidemically.
Where do you put the link? You can put the link in the Discord. The link I gave you, the Discord link, should be the general, and you should be able to just drop videos in there. Unless for some reason I made it where you have to be like a member status to drop in videos. If so, I could change that.
Exponentially, because the number of tests that was done went up exponentially. How many doctors knew about HIV in 1983?
All right, talk about HIV. And notice how, like he just said, well, did he just say the cases went up because the testing went up? That's something we... Okay, let's put that back.
Knew about HIV in 1983 to exponentially, because the number of tests that was done went up exponentially. Cases reported went up epidemically.
Cases reported went up exponentially because the testing went up. Huh. More people get tested, more cases you're going to find, of course.
Exponentially, because the number of tests that was done went up exponentially. How many doctors knew about HIV in 1983? 2. How many knew about it in 1985? Say 500. How many knew about it in 1986? 40,000. So that's where the curve came from. How many?
Oh, look at that curve.
How many tests were done? Look. If it's
Oh my God, this is looking very similar, isn't it?
just caused by needles, or it's just caused by homosexual activities, you're not going to really get a long, sustained public outcry against it, and nobody's going to want to spend $6 billion a year. They're going to say, well, we really didn't like those people anyhow.
Right? They'd be like, well, if you get AIDS because of needles and you get AIDS because of unprotected gay sex, then I'll just avoid heroin. I've been doing pretty good with that, and I'll also avoid unprotected gay sex. I've been doing pretty good on that too. So it looks like I'm not going to get it. I'm fine. Not my problem, right? Here we have. But no, what is how does Dr. Fauci spin that though?
Great. I can't think of a better solution to the homosexual problem than a disease that'll kill them all. I mean, there would be congressmen that would talk about that quietly, not on television. So the CDC had to say, we can't say that. We got to say it's going to be. It's got to be heterosexually transmitted. There's no proof that it's transmitted at all at that point. So why not just say, well, it's heterosexually transmitted too? Because that made it a plague, and the CDC needed one.
Oh, so Dr. Fauci said it was transmitted by heterosexual activity, which technically it could be, but it's very unlikely that it is. I mean, hypothetically, I mean, it's possible you could. I mean, the reason why it happens a lot with unprotected anal sex, gay sex, is because anal, I don't know if you know this or not, when you stick dicks in the ass, it causes, I don't have to explain it to you, right? Openings, and blood, okay? That's what it is. That's what it is. It's in the blood, man.
CDC hadn't had a good plague since polio. Their funding was probably going to be cut back if they didn't come up with one. The guy that was the head of the CDC, in fact, wrote memos that have been...
Oh, he said nobody wants to spend $6 billion. I thought he said billion a year on to fight it. Maybe he said $6 million. I don't know.
Obtained, that where he describes this as hot stuff. Those guys have got an agenda, which is not what we would like them to have, being that we pay for them to take care of our health. They are considered...
So Dr. Fauci has history of exaggerating a situation for profit. Wow. Why did Trump choose him again? Why did Trump choose him?
The final arbiters of what's good for the planet or what's bad for the planet. And they hadn't got the slightest idea. Instead of wearing white robes, they wear white lab coats, Instead of bringing you the word of God, they bring you the word of the EPA or whatever. And they don't have to understand what it is that they are making you do, in fact. And people, I think they fall naturally into it because there is a need in humanity for something like a religion.
So occasionally you get a false positive under those.
Oh, so science becomes a religion. Yeah, that's what happens, man. With global warming, climate change, that's another forbidden topic. You're not allowed to talk against it. Climate change, global warming. It's funny how the solutions for global warming, I mean, what am I going to still sleazy P. Martini's bit? Involves increasing taxes. Just increasing taxes. Okay. All right. Sounds like politicians just want to get richer off of my tax dollar, off of your tax dollar, and not take care of us. I mean, if you're going to have a government that you're paying for with your money, with your taxes, what they're supposed to do is provide a service, right? That's exactly right. They provide a service. They fix the roads. They repair the roads. Oh, but they don't do that. Well, I'm paying them to do that, but they're not doing that. Bullshit. I'm telling you, man. I hope a lot of Americans are pissed off right now. What's happening with the COVID relief shit? Getting $600 is an insult, but the biggest fucking insult is the fact that Pakistan or these other countries are getting millions. It's a COVID relief bill for us, for Americans. Why is Pakistan getting what was it, 4 million? It was a crazy number. I don't know, millions of dollars for a gender program in Pakistan, where they'd probably throw trans people off of rooftops anyway. The bill was supposed to take care of us, and our politicians can't even do it. You know what else you're not allowed to talk about? What's forbidden is to suggest that we just do a tax boycott. Hey, our politicians can't be freeloaders. They can't be freeloaders, man. We pay their fucking salary. That's right, Dick Trickle. 10 million. That's right. That's how we stop fucking paying. That's what I say.
Those circumstances, a Western blot can absolutely confirm. Western blots are also important when you have people, for example, who have been vaccinated.
Okay, this part of the video is interesting because this shows that Dr. Fauci doesn't know how to test for a virus, which is interesting because, hey, isn't it weird that sometimes these, I don't know, COVID tests are kind of like a magic 8-ball, whether you have it or whether you don't. And sometimes it says you have it, but then it says you don't, but then it says you have it again. Like, what the fuck is that?
In vaccine trials and making antibody against one protein, the only way you're going to tell if they're infected serologically is by looking at a Western blot showing they make antibodies to the other protein. So it has a lot of value. It's fundamentally a confirmatory diagnostic test.
More likely to be positive there because they use much more lax criteria.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with different countries having different criteria, because the different criteria are only really for that small group of patients that come in the indeterminate level. When a Western blot is really positive, it hits you like a truck. It's only for that little indeterminate group that you have to be concerned.
In theory, at least, that if you were tested in New York today, then flew to Australia, and you had 3 bands in New York, you would not be positive in Australia, but you would be positive in New York City. Now,
Look at that. Look at that. So you could get the same test or different tests. Oh, it sounds like the same test. You take an HIV test in New York, or take the test over in Australia. You may come back positive in New York and not in Australia because they're using different. They use different testing procedures. Interesting. You know, what's going on in those testing kits? Have there been, I have not paying attention. I mean, have there been doctors that talked about the inner workings of those testing kits and why they malfunction or whatever, give false positives?
I mean, a virus cannot behave in this manner.
He lowered the sensitivity of the antibody test.
If they didn't allow them to charge so much for it, I think there'll be a lot less use of it. You know, it's just like in political scandals. Follow the money trail. Figure out who's getting paid for this. Who's getting the money for those Western blots. There's your person who's going to always come down on the side of, yeah, you got a confirmatory Western blots, they call it. They don't even do them in England anymore.
No, not since 1992.
It's totally, and ask a doctor how it works. The doctor who prescribes it says, got to have a Western blot to confirm this ELISA positive thing. How does that work, doctor? Sir, what are they now measuring about me that's different from what they measured with the ELISA test? He wouldn't know.
That's a good question. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know. I don't think he would. Man. It's pretty interesting, huh? Learning stuff. I mean, we're seeing it now, too, right? With the vaccines. These vaccines are supposed to be safe. People pass out when they take them. They're supposed to be safe. Those that sometimes, according to something I read, though they claim it's been debunked, and I'll tell you what happened. Some people who took the vaccine tested positive for HIV, but it was a false positive, and that they tested later, and the HIV test came back negative. So it's, what were they using? Were they using one of the Dr. Fauci's HIV tests, or what? What were they fucking using? Dr. Fauci. Yeah, like Robitussin can claim you're on cocaine on tests, right? Right? How accurate are tests like this COVID test? That's right. That's right. All right. Let me make sure I am. Oh, let me check the Discord for any new videos. Let's see what we got here. What do we have here? If it's something that looks like it'd be too copyright, oh, it's not a video. This is funny. This is funny. Let me show this image. How do y'all feel about this? Huh? How do you feel about this? It's Britney, bitch. How about that, huh? I don't have a problem with that. At this point, I think, why not? Let Britney Spears run it. Let her run the fucking show. The fucking puppet anyway. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, COVID test. Nurse faints while speaking to reporters after getting vaccinated. Yes. All right, let's do this.
A nurse is vaccinated, but just minutes later, this happens.
I'm sorry.
Tiffany Dover.
Don't tell me she has a history of passing out. They wouldn't choose someone who has a history of passing out to take the vaccine live, right?
Fainted as she spoke to reporters at a hospital in Chattanooga, Tennessee. But it turns out it wasn't a reaction to the vaccine. Tiffany has a medical condition and
oh my God, here they are. She has a medical condition. Then why the fuck would you? No way. That can't even be true. If that's true, then why would they choose her?
faints often. She quickly recovered and spoke to reporters.
I have passed out probably 6 times in the past 6 weeks.
Oh, she just passes out all the time, guys. We could have chosen any other person to take this vaccine, this very important vaccine that all eyes are on. All eyes are on. People are very concerned about what's going to happen with this. But we chose the one. We chose someone that just passes out all the fucking time. Well, maybe you didn't go to work fucking drunk. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about here, man? Come on.
Reporters.
I have passed out probably 6 times in the past 6 weeks.
Passed out 6 times in the past 6 weeks. I think she's lying. I think she. You know what? No, I don't believe it. I'm not gonna believe this. Show me the fucking receipts. I can tell you, man. At this point, I'm not. No. I saw what I saw. Why the hell would he choose someone who just passed out all the fucking time to take a new vaccine? That makes no fucking sense. Either the people who chose her are fucking idiots, which they could be, or she's fucking lying.
It's common for me.
It's very common. People should not use that as a barometer for not taking the COVID-19 vaccine or other vaccine.
I don't know, man. I'm taking it as a barometer. How about you? How about you take it, bro? How about you take it, huh?
No such mishaps in Washington as Vice President Mike Pence was vaccinated. But watch as the hand of medical technician Sean Wadeen shakes nervously as he puts the needle into his arm.
I, by the way, as a surgeon, am also a little bit afraid of needles.
Neurosurgeon Dr. Sanjay Gupta revealed.
Yeah, he's nervous, all right. That is the VP. I'd be nervous too. Great. All right, Vince. I think I got the right vial here. I think I got the right one. I hope so. Please don't pass out, VP.
He's afraid of needles, but he went ahead anyway, live on CNN.
Is it in?
It's done.
It's done.
But even as thousands get vaccinated, the pandemic rages on, worse than ever. 100,000
rages on, worse than ever, huh?
100,000 new cases were reported in 48 hours in California. Among them,
this test, huh?
The 9-year-old daughter of LA's mayor.
Oh, LA's mayor. Wasn't he caught out whining and dining when everyone else was locked down? Isn't he the one who said he's going to jail people for having house parties? Fuck him. Fuck him and his fucking family. I'm pissed now. You should be too. These fucking hypocrites. I don't know. I was in LA. If I wasn't... People in those towns need to take fucking action, man.
Also revealing her COVID diagnosis, 47-year-old supermodel Eva Herzegova.
I don't care about supermodels either. Other than when they look nice.
And the condition of the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, is said to be worsening. He contracted COVID after a meeting with other European leaders. There are no ICU beds available anywhere in Southern California. Hospitals.
Here's what they said. No ICU beds anywhere. But, how you define it and how you describe it, right? So when they say no ICU beds anywhere, what exactly are they, like? I'm willing to bet they're saying no ICU beds in the ICU sections of those hospitals. I don't know. You know, I'm just saying, based on my experience here in, Houston, Texas, when I got the memo that, because I received the text, it was a couple months ago, that, hospitals are overrun. It's like, I drove by a couple of local hospitals. No one there. Pretty much the same shit, what it turned out is that the ICU beds in the ICU were, they had more patients than usual, but there's other beds in the hospital, other areas that they could use if they needed, So it's kind of like, I guess, it's like planning for the worst. It's like expecting the worst, but it puts fear. What happens is it puts fear out there, and you're selling fear, and people are all afraid. All right.
Are no longer allowed to turn away ambulances and must accept patients regardless of their capacity. As a result, there are often ambulances lined up outside with patients.
Oh, wait, guys, I gotta be careful. I'm playing copyrighted content. I could go to jail for this. See, also in that stimulus bill is a bullshit thing about how if you play copyrighted content, you can face 10 years and you'll be a felon. Get that. Amazing, right? Fucking amazing. And that's going to change streaming, man. We will literally just have Rant and Chills where we just talk about nothing, really. We talk, just no show. No show and tell. I don't know. Anyway, we'll navigate that if that ever happens. All right, let's, this is the Great Reset. Fun. This is the real reason why we're locked down now. It's not because of COVID. It's not because of fear of COVID. Because the same people who pass these lockdowns, who enforce these lockdowns, they're not afraid of COVID. They go out, sometimes without masks. They go out and meet with family. They go out. They go wine and dine. They're not afraid. Why are they afraid? Why isn't Pelosi afraid? Why isn't Newsom afraid? Why isn't Cuomo afraid? De Blasio? Just name. Why aren't they afraid? Because there's nothing to fear. I'm not saying it's not real. Sure, yeah, it's real. But the lockdowns, they're for a whole other reason, man. And they don't fucking work. They didn't work the first time. They're not going to work the second time. Our world has changed. Ooh, okay. The new world order is coming in. Are you ready? Guys, I mean this. If Antifa were to come out now and rage against a fucking machine, rage against our government because of shit like this, yeah, sure, I'd be on their side. But like, yeah, there you go. Now you get it. Now you're now you're doing the fight right. But they don't fucking care. Fucking fakes. Great Reset. I bet even in the Great Reset, we'll still have little kids in Africa mining to make phones. Our systems need a reset. I mean, when big businesses realize that when this reset happens, they're not going to be part of it, or it's going to be really limited because what you're not allowed to own stuff. It's going to. I think they might get into this video. Everyone has a role to play. What role? Floyd. George Floyd was already struggling to breathe before he was set down. And when he was set down, it wasn't the knee on the neck that stopped him from breathing. Okay. Anyway. Why they show a baby? So the Great Reset would not like babies. It's just like propaganda. That's what this is. And I think the Great Reset guys are a bunch of fucking pompous, big brain fuckers who think this is actually possible. The Great Reset, it's not fucking possible. They're going to try for it. They may try for it. Really, what's happening here, the reason why these lockdowns are happening again, the reason why, one of the reasons, maybe the Great Reset is part of it, but one of the other reasons is that they want to destroy their fucking cities even more so they can get even more of a bailout, more of a handout from that COVID relief package that's been passed. See, businesses still want to make money. I know there's a lot of businesses that like work with the World Economic Forum, the WEF, and that's who's behind the Great Reset. But businesses want to make money, right? In order to make money, they have to sell you things. They have to mass produce things. Mass production requires cheap fucking labor, exploiting someone. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay, they'll watch this video. I just say whatever they write down in front of me. Okay.
I don't know why I bring all these papers. I never look at them.
Oh, when you're giving numbers, I do. I go, oh. Sorry, I said that. Did you really do that?
Oh, this is some Canadian news anchor?
I just say whatever they write down for me.
That's why you're guessing.
Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. David Williams, speaks with Associate Dr. Barbara Yaffe. What? She just reads whatever they put in front of her? She doesn't actually read those papers? Teleprompter, man.
I don't know why I bring all these papers. I never look at them.
Oh, when you're giving numbers, I do. I go, oh. Sorry, I said that. Did you really do that?
I just say whatever they write down for me.
That's why you're guessing.
So you could literally write cocks and balls on the teleprompter and she'll fucking read it. Do it. Do it. And these are the people that are giving us the news, right? See, I think those on the far right understand, or those that are just see themselves kind of out of the game. That's how I see myself, man. I don't see myself as far right. I see myself out of the game. Like I'm not even really part of it anymore. I don't give a fucking shit. We realize that the media lies to us. Big time. Big time. Those on the left, nah, they eat up the fucking shit. They eat up whatever they see on CNN, MSNBC, all those mainstream outlets, the establishment outlets. Instead of calling them mainstream, call them what they are. They're propaganda for the establishment. That's what they are, man. They want us to be further divided so they could continue to conquer. Because if we all collectively ignore them and just noticed, I don't know, just pay attention to the shit the politicians are doing, recognize our grievance, and direct it towards them, they would know they can't just get away with this shit. Dude, I've been singing this tune for a while, man. I'm fucking pissed. Y'all should be too. Watch a couple streams. I'll be doing taxation as theft. Taxation is theft. I'm a fucking tax to these fucking clowns. They're supposed to do something for me. Supposed to be a back and forth. Supposed to do something for us. Instead, they lie, cheat, and steal. Lie, cheat, and steal is what they do. Okay. More videos. Bill Gates is the Grim Reaper. All right. Like I said, I'm not even previewing these videos. So whatever they are what they are. And if I go to jail for copyrighted content, well, nice knowing y'all. Oh, God. Bill Gates' face. Still the world's deadliest killer. Mosquitoes. Mosquito week. Is it only on Gates notes? Okay. What do you think about that? What I see there, I see the Gates Foundation profiting off of that, off mosquitoes. We could eradicate them. We could eradicate them if we wanted to. The technology is there. I've heard it before. I mean, we could put out some mosquitoes that would lead genetically modified, that when they breed, they produce offspring that just are sterile, you know, they just can't do anything. Be nice. No more mosquitoes. Who the fuck needs a mosquito, right? How in the world do they fit in the circle of life? Nah. You get rid of mosquitoes, things be happier. Get rid of mosquitoes and get rid of, well, Bill Gates. He's a mosquito too, isn't he? Event 201, I think, was funded by Gates. It is. It is, man. Let's see. Awaken with JP proves that lockdowns are working. Okay.
Such a good time.
Here we go, guys. We're going to learn why lockdowns are working. Here we go. Ready?
You ready to roll?
3, 2, 1.
Good evening. It is still not safe to gather with people. You must remain in lockdown and refrain from gathering for your protection and the safety of those around you. The experts who you give your power away to estimate that it'll be safe to gather with people again in about 7 generations from now. And we have many other breaking news stories for you today. In a remarkable feat, the Moderna vaccine trials have shown the vaccine to be 94% effective in preventing COVID-19 symptoms. This is just what we in the world needed to hear. Almost as remarkably, COVID-19 has been shown
Only 94%. Oh, and that new strain. Watch out for that new strain, huh?
to be 80% effective in preventing COVID-19 symptoms, as 80% of infected people simply don't have any symptoms. But for the individuals who do not
And I'm hoping I'm one of them.
receive a COVID-19 infection to protect them from COVID-19 symptoms, the vaccine is looking like a powerful pathway at preventing COVID-19 symptoms for them. It's without a doubt the most reality-based breakthrough a company has ever shown on their own product. In other news, you don't know anyone who's gotten the flu or a cold since last February, do you?
Isn't that true,
Right?
huh?
That's because those things don't exist anymore.
It's all COVID.
Let's not think about that any further. In Japan, during October alone, there were more suicides related to the misery of the lockdowns than there were deaths from COVID in all of 2020. Experts suspect the only way to reduce the
But Japanese lives don't matter. But I remember that stuff, right? You'd say, oh, well, what about mental illness? What about suicides? And it'd be the fucking left. It'd be the fucking lefties. You know, they'll call the righties bootlickers. I'm going to say Blue Lives Matter, which, hey, you know, at this point, you got to realize the police aren't always on your side. And usually they're not. There's oath breakers, man. Fuck them. Fuck them. Yeah, okay. So some of the rights are bootlickers. It seems like all this fucking shills for the left. On the left, or shills for corporate interests. What are they? Huh? What's the term for them? Let me know in the chat what you would call them.
number of suicides from the lockdowns is with more strict lockdowns. This just in, officials who impose lockdowns on societies who don't want them are not held accountable for the deaths caused by the lockdowns. Experts agree schools need to stay closed indefinitely to protect our children. This year to date, there's been 127 kids under the age of 18 who have died from COVID. Yet there's been 26,333 total deaths this year. Luckily, the things that are killing 206 times more kids than COVID appear to be far less deadly than COVID and need not be worried about while we continue to worry about COVID. Even though the numbers I just read are straight from the CDC website, the fact checkers will check this video out as false information that could mislead people. Oh, and this just in. Suck it, fact
Is this guy cool if I play his whole video? You never know.
checkers. I blacked out. Where were we? In Austin, Texas, the leader of the Communist Party, Mayor Steve Adler, told residents they must stay home in lockdown while he was on vacation in Mexico. In lockdowns, dictator Eric Garcetti has canceled everything. A very precise, nuanced strategy.
Austin is a fucking cancer of Texas. Let it just stay in Austin. Let it just stay in Austin.
Strategy to use lockdowns to help kill people before a virus can kill them. Now, if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's lockdowns simply save lives. They're unquestionably the right thing to do. Though oddly enough, the World Health Organization is now urging world leaders to stop using lockdowns. The World Health Organization's Dr. David Nabarro has said the reason for not using lockdowns anymore is because of the hunger and poverty they cause. However, in
It's like
our
not even
good
satire,
medical
huh?
conscience, we have to classify this doctor's medical perspective as Russian misinformation. It is appalling that Russia could even say that he said lockdowns cause hunger and poverty. In other news, The Lancet reported an estimated 265 million people will be facing acute food insecurity by the end of 2020. And it's estimated lockdowns will push an additional 150 million people into extreme poverty. It's clear that the public...
Oh, and that $600 check is going to do what? Austin has been lost. I hate it, but it's true, right? It's a fucking circus over there. It's a goddamn circus. It needs to stay there.
And the experts who are allowed to talk want more lockdowns. Facebook still has election-related posts labeled as...
Because they want it to destroy their city. I mean, what is the other reason, right? Because they're actually afraid of COVID. If they're afraid of COVID, they wouldn't be out. They wouldn't be going to their families. They wouldn't be flying around. They wouldn't be going to get their hair did. No. They want you to be locked in. They want you to do what you're told. While they don't follow the same rules, because fuck you, right? And we should say fuck you back. It's illegal to not pay taxes. But you know, sometimes you have to, you're gonna have to say fuck the laws. You're gonna have to say fuck the rules at some point. The system has us fucked. You have to fight against it. I do promote that lately on this channel. Look at that. I'll play a little bit more of this.
Joe Biden is the projected winner of the US presidential election. And it's kind of making people who don't know how to not think ask, what are they trying to cover up? Well, the answer is nothing. In unrelated news, a firm that owns Dominion Voting Systems received $400 million from a Swiss bank with connections to the Chinese government before the election. However, it would be xenophobic to even question this information any further. A new study out of Denmark concludes that masks...
Fuck China. All right. That one's good. That one's good. I don't want to play the whole... Should I play the whole thing? No. It's a good video, though. It's a good video. Definitely. Oh, God. All right. Well, I'm not vetting these videos before I click on them, but this one is going to be great. Ram Ranch 7, but it's an actual Marines commercial. Oh, God.
Yeah, 28 U.S. Marines pulling up in black Ford Raptor trucks. Helicopters landed. Ram Ranch is under siege, under lockdown. U.S. Marines are gonna fuck Ram Ranch cowboy butts. Looking for Prince Harry, gonna fuck Prince Harry's butt. Yeah, wild, buff, cool U.S. Marines, gonna fuck cowboy butts. Yeah, 28 U.S. Marines pulling up in black Ford Raptor trucks. Helicopters landed. Ram Ranch is under siege, under lockdown. U.S. Marines are gonna fuck Ram Ranch cowboy butts. Looking for Prince Harry, gonna fuck Prince Harry's butt. Yeah, wild, buff, cool U.S. Marines, gonna fuck cowboy butts.
That's cool. It's cool. It's funny. Cool U.S. Marines. Gonna fuck cowboys' butts. All right. And let's see. Innocence from Matt 93. All right.
Yeah, my check finally cleared.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess this would be a good time to drop in whatever video you wanted me to play. I guess you guys are nice. Not thinking anything that'll get me in too trouble yet.
But I had to open a second account. My first one literally had too much money in it. You know how it goes. Small businesses need to stay closed. Good evening, little people. Here's what we want you to believe today. And pay close attention, we'll be emotionally manipulating you with fear to get you to believe what doesn't make any logical sense to you. COVID cases are spiking. There it is. Leading the charge against humanity is the most trusted man in the country, Communist Newsom, who's announced he'll be ordering all California businesses to close for another 3 weeks, followed by a period of forever. The only way to fight a virus that carries a 99.98% survival rate is with poverty that we're getting you to create for yourself. And if you don't think that makes sense, then remember to be afraid so you'll comply out of your emotional reactivity. This just in, science has proven that poverty is immune boosting. According to scientific studies that haven't happened, small businesses are cesspools for death and disease, as they always have been. Meanwhile, large national chains like Costco, Target, Home Depot, and Amazon are tasked with the burden of receiving what's left of your money, if you even have any left. To explain how keeping small businesses shut down forever is in your best interest, please pay close attention to the following sequence of events that you're in the middle of right now. You keep your business closed, which means you go into poverty. You and everyone else is then dependent on the government for aid. Then everyone votes for increased government control so they can get financial aid and handouts from the government, while having to stay strictly compliant with the government mandates in order to qualify for the handouts. I wonder if the bread lines will be gluten-free. Now, if this sounds like you're ushering in and then living in a socialist communist state, it's because you will be. But we're calling it something different so you don't realize it yet.
You will be, but you fucking lefties, it's not the communist utopia you want. If you want that, you need to go for the fucking senators' bank accounts. Jesus Christ. Oh, you fuckers. I know I paused the video. I just had to say it.
We're calling it COVID relief, but it's really just relief from the economic destruction that we've told you to do to yourself. Now, actions speak louder than words, and our loudly spoken words are, we're not doing this. Yet our actions show that we are. But because you're watching me right now to have me tell you what to think, that means you're not thinking for yourself and therefore are dumb enough to fall for this. So we'll carry on. COVID relief. Now those are words that make you feel like the elite are protecting you, so you'll trust them, right?
And I've done my best to do that.
Nobody could do it better.
Done his best with house parties, right?
Close your business to protect yourself and society. It's the right thing to do. Destroying your livelihood and staying committed to going deep enough into poverty for long enough so we'll eventually give you a little bit of money is a financial plan you can trust. However, numerous California county sheriffs have come forward saying they won't enforce any more of Communist Newsom's ridiculous rules because they are both destructive and unconstitutional. In his very non-dictator-like ways, Newsom responded by warning these counties that if they don't enforce his rules, they could lose COVID relief funds. So in other words, shut your businesses down so you'll need our financial aid. That's like...
That's right. That's how they do it. That's how they get the control. And man, I'm not a communist guy, but I see what they're doing, right? They're trying to put us into this socialist, communist control, right? The thing that pisses me off about those fucking bread tubers, they're fucking hypocrites. They're fucking spineless cowards. If they really wanted to get wealth and distribute it, you cannot trust the government to do that because they are sitting on wealth. We pay them. They're wealthy because of us. If those motherfuckers really wanted their fucking commie utopia, they should make them fucking pay. Be like, all right, we'll start with your bank account first. AOC, we'll start with you. Okay? You just name a senator. You name a congresswoman. You name congressperson, congressman. We're starting with you. But no.
Saying if you want to be happy, then get depressed so we can give you antidepressants to make you happy. And I think we all know that's the only way to be happy. These sheriffs who serve and protect the public appear to be brave enough to protect the public from corrupt people in positions of power who are saying they're protecting the public. And unfortunately, that's just not scientific. And be sure to believe my super solid use of the term scientific.
This is really solid.
As is everything you say, good sir. The business owner who owns Pineapple Hill Saloon had her business shut down. Right next door to her outdoor dining setup, Hollywood elites were allowed to place their outdoor dining setup. The business owner, who was shamefully stricken with tears.
And as is funny, I'm not laughing because it's real. It's too real. Oh, and I reached that point, man. You go on the cesspool that is Reddit, and you see that video, and you have those fucking idiots, like, on the side of the fucking Hollywood corporate elite faggots on their fucking side. It's like, wake the fuck up, man. Wake up.
Obviously doesn't understand that the Hollywood elite are elite, and that she is not. Hollywood is an essential business now tasked with ushering in acceptance of socialism through entertainment. Similar to sheriffs, numerous business owners are standing up in the face of tyranny as they disobey orders to open their businesses. Like this man who owns coffee in Escondido, California.
Coffee here in Escondido will not be closing down.
As you can clearly see, this man is a domestic terrorist out to kill people by serving his community and earning a living for his family. Insert Corona is dangerous rhetoric here that nobody believes anymore. This just in! We at the mainstream media will not report on brave people defying draconian orders to open their businesses. We don't want you to see hugely growing numbers of people choosing bravery and common sense over fear. Because we don't want you to be inspired to do the same. We won't show it to you. Instead, be afraid so you stay weak and compliant by considering this.
This is good. I'm gonna pause right here. It's too real. It's too real. It's too real. And I don't know about you, man. I'm at that level. Where it's like, I want to see us take action. Like I want to wake up tomorrow and hear that the people in LA stormed the mayor's house. His house. Don't do anything bad to him. Just put fear in him. Make him realize that the people outnumber him. I'm just saying, man. Fucking pussies, though. Across the fucking board. And we have to bail them out with a fucking COVID relief package. Alright. This is, Keanu Reeves, a lizard? Whoa. Yeah, play that again. Keanu Reeves isn't even human. Hold on here. You see that, right? You see his hand? That's a lizard hand. How many did... Okay. Yeah, that's a lizard fucking hand, dude. That's weird. It's weird, man. That's weird. And I might be asking, is this the same thing over and over again? There's something more to this video. Hold on. Oh, that's... Look how it changes. Ooh, like that. It splits apart.
Well, let me reiterate my admiration and respect, General, for you and our military leaders and the difficulty of the task before them. I think you are one of America's great heroes. But I continue to worry a great deal about the message we are sending in the region, about whether we're actually going to stay or not, and whether we're going to do what's necessary to succeed rather than set an arbitrary timeline. And the best way to...
Wait, what's going on here? Is there a build-up? I'm hoping this building up. I'm hoping it's building up to something. We'll see.
We're going to recess now for a few moments. Recess till the call of the chair.
I don't even know what's going on.
Timeline. And the best way
to... Oh, he's a lizard person. Oh, look at how he blinks. Look at that. McCain's a lizard person too. Of course he was. Weird eye blinks. Weird. Oh, okay. That's cool. It's cool. All right. So, I think we did it as far as talking about forbidden topics. We covered COVID, the lockdown, the Jews is probably the biggest one. That's the one that'll get me in trouble for real. I'm dropping a few N-bombs, but I mean, come on now. Come on. Yeah. Forbidden topics, guys. I think we did pretty well. It was fun. I won't be able to stream. I will not be streaming tomorrow at noon because work, but I will be streaming later on. And then, of course, obviously during the holidays, Christmas Eve, Christmas, no stream. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Y'all take it easy.